Welcome to Fire Island. This is 1.2.12, or 1.12.2, excuse me. The, kind of like custom community map fixes, not so much a patch. In the top right side, spawning from Team Mates, the yellow allied player, it is Vindies. And in the bottom left side, the green Empire from Team NaCl, it is Happy. And this game is getting underway with some nice 1.2, whoa. Why did that not save? All right, there we go. Oh. All right, there we go. This game is getting underway with some solid Empire action from Happy. I believe Happy is normally going to be an allied player, but apparently he feels pretty confident in his allies versus Empire play. So, I mean, I'm just assuming that because he chose to play Empire versus Vindies. And for those of you who are familiar with Fire Island, you may be looking at these walls and thinking, what is that? You can wall in that refinery fully? Yeah, and you can wall in this refinery fully. That's what 1.12.2 does. This is not so easily as a no contest Empire capture, because there's like a magic spot here where you can deploy your dojo where no one can stop your engineer from capturing the oil derrick, and it's not the same up here. Up here, it's always a risk for an Empire player. So it makes this southern spot inherently a little bit better for Empire players, and so now it's been mirrored in 1.12.2. It's not like this has been nerfed, it's that this has been corrected to be the same as this. Because it's just weird to have that kind of asymmetry on this map where, like, everything else is symmetrical pretty much. I mean, yeah, there's a little bit of, like, details like that isn't exactly symmetrical, but in the most competitive parts of the map, it's important to have that symmetry and to have that balance in the map. Now, Riptide going to be heading out for Vindies. He's got a couple of them most likely packed up with engineers so they can recapture those oil derricks going into the airfield after this. That engineer may have been... Nope, that's 5 Javelin Troopers. There's no mistake there. 5 Javelin Troopers are inside of that Riptide, and that Riptide is going for a refinery killing mission. Now, there's some Imperial Warriors here as well, and this kind of is, I mean, we saw Kimi no Uji do... Oh, my word, what is inside of this sudden transport? That kind of worries me. There's a tank buster running behind. Is there a bunch of tank busters inside of this sudden transport? We could be in a very interesting situation. Yeah, 4 tank busters. There's number 5. He couldn't catch up with his friends as the Vindicator does come in. And going to be dropping some bombs, trying to clear out the Imperial Warriors. Not actually sure. Oh, no, that Riptide just got cleaned up by the Tengu as it is into Mecha Bay for Happy. Now, Happy, can he actually bring the pain next? He's got Imperial Warriors starting to eat away at that MCV. Riptide is getting some repairs. I believe that's the Riptide with the 5 Javelin Troopers inside of it. Now the sudden transport rushes forward. It's going to be getting some nice shots off. No, the Javelin Troopers do absorb the damage, but the Conyard is now under fire from the Tank Busters, and Vindies is going to be doing what he can to save this MCV. He's going to be running it. No, he's not actually running it out onto the water. He wants the repairs from that, from the airfield. The Javelin Troopers shoot down both of the Tengus, and the sudden transport goes down as well, clearing the skies. Now there's just, or clearing the waters rather, clearing the land. And now there's just a few units here, and the MCV might actually escape. Yes, it is going to be able to get away. The Tengu might be able to chase it down out on the water. The Vindicator gets eliminated. A nice kill there for Happy, and he's starting to directly siege the Allied base. Apollos show up to go ahead and take out the Tengus. The repair is not happening really on that MCV. Both of the Tengus going down. NaCl Happy making some critical mistakes here, but the... Nope, there's 2 more Tengus showing up, so it doesn't even matter. He's not necessarily going to be going for the Transform Micro. Is there an airfield out on the field? Yes, there is. Vindies is not stopping until the pain is over. He's not giving up until the game is completely over. He's got no power plant, though, so things are going to be getting awkward. His MCV is taking direct damage from these Tengus. Luckily, it's not extremely crazy damage. Oh, my. Chris, I think we may have found a little bit of a problem with the new graphical, like, explosions. Is when you're right on the cusp of that damage output. The MCV, will it actually survive? The Tengu going in for the honorable discharge. It kills the MCV as the Tengu goes down. GG comes out from Vindies. And NaCl Happy will take game 1 of this impromptu, somewhat impromptu, Clan Wars best of 3 or best of 5. I do believe it's going to turn into a best of 5. So NaCl Happy, in just under 5 minutes it looks like, is going to be taking a game off of Vindies with some pretty solid Empire play. Alright guys, welcome to game number 2 on Infinity Isle. Spawning as the Green Soviets on the left side. Well, he just took a game off of our kind of well-known player. Our kind of better well-known player. It is NaCl Happy, the saltiest clan. In 3, your fittest chum, says m8s Vindies. But on the right side, we do indeed have the man that I just said his name. He's down 0-1. He needs your cheers from Team Mates. It is Vindies. And of course, this is the January Clan Wars. You are watching just some fun action between clans. And it's going to be into, it looks like, that airfield after that refinery. Now, it may be into something else, but a lot of times when you see this sort of play with no racks, it is going to be for that airfield play. Now, it's not any sort of super crazy all-in. Otherwise, he would probably have walled up a little bit differently and just gone for one refinery. But he is going for a bit of a pretty aggro play. I mean, I'm not going to say it's like the craziest play ever, but he is definitely going for something that's a little bit unusual. First Vindicator does pop on out, and it's going to go immediately out for the bombing runs. He's just going to be looking to clear out what could have been infantry heading over here. That would be my guess. He wants to make sure there's no extra engineers. There's nothing crazy going on. Nothing too silly going to be taking him by surprise. Now, this is not the 1.12.2 version of the map. This is just the regular version of the map. And there's the cryocopter. Tier 2 is indeed out. m8s Vindies is going for something a little bit risky, but he's hoping for kind of that build order win. First Bullfrog is indeed out from NaCl Happy. He's moving his MCV as well, but the first flak cannon has also been finished, which is a very important point for NaCl Happy. He sniffed this out far before it was actually in his base, and he's been able to defend it pretty much perfectly. Now, of course, he has had to drop quite a few credits on this defense, but, I mean, Bullfrogs, you're always going to be getting those in SVA anyway, so that's not really like income lost. You could argue the flak cannon is unnecessary, but that's going to be, again, protecting pretty much the entire game against cryocopters, so it'll probably end up paying for itself anyways. Happy could, of course, camp one bear out here just to keep an eye on the base, and he's gonna have a pretty good idea of exactly what Vindies is doing throughout this game, because there's not like a lot of big, crazy transitions you can do from fast airfield into Tier 2 into cryocopter. Like, it's not like, oh, you know, what exactly is my opponent doing? No, you know what he's doing, because he's spent so much money getting that up and running. He doesn't have the cash to go for anything else that's super crazy. But there's 2 Bullfrogs out on the field. There was, at some point, a Terror Drone as well running around. There's the Super Reactor from Happy. Vindy swings over with a Vindicator, cleans up the Terror Drone right there in the middle of the map. Oil Derrick grabbed for both players now that Vindies does have this racks over here. And, of course, with that Tier 2, he could go into, I mean, technically, he could go into a spy. I don't know that he'll necessarily do that, just because that's going to be a bit expensive. But he could indeed go into a spy. And Happy, that's something he always has to keep in mind against a player like Vindies. Vindies now up to 2 cryocopters. He is going to be able to shrink down 2 of the Bullfrogs and be able to freeze one down as well. Now, of course, Vindies needs to keep an eye. Oh, he actually drops all of the bombs there, but he does have the Peacekeeper here to help finish off whatever is left. And, of course, this is a danger for Soviet players against cryocopters, is cryocopters you may have the superior numbers, but cryocopters can indeed even the odds in a really big way. One of these cryocopters needs to get pulled. It does not get pulled, and suddenly m8s Vindies is losing those units that are oh so important in the mid and late game. He does still have 2 cryocopters, so this has not been beaten back. With only Bullfrogs out on the field, it's still going to be hard for... Oh, he gets the roar off for Happy to really break this down. Now, the flak... Oh, no, the Terror Drone spawns. That RNG, man, that RNG as one cryocopter goes down. The second one narrowly escapes with just barely any HP to stand on, really. And that Terror Drone able to come out here, kill off one of the Peacekeepers. The bear, it looks like, cleaned up the other one despite being frozen a little bit there by that cryocopter. And Vindies, he's done a bit of damage. He's kind of done some good damage. He's almost reset the bullfrog count. He killed off a couple of bullfrogs, nearly killed off a third one, but he hasn't quite made the big strides to win this game. On top of that, he's lost himself a couple of cryocopters as well, which makes things a little bit more difficult. Ooh, the conscript dropping in, and hey man, you might as well drop all of your bombs. What the heck? As a terror drone heads along the north side of the map for Happy. MCV packed up, heading out for a potential 4th refinery expansion on the water for Happy. Vindies is going to want to keep an eye on that because, of course, that becomes a good harassment opportunity for Vindies with, you know, whether it be cryo shot, cryocopters, whatever you may want. And NaCl Happy is like, oh, nope, you got no 3rd refinery out on the water. You went for your 3rd refinery on the ridge, no 4th refinery yet. So I'm not going to have to worry too much about that. MiG does indeed show up on the front lines. Are there any Apollos to contend it? Yes, there is one Apollo. There's also a couple of Javelin troopers on the ground. Now, bullfrogs show up. They're, of course, shrunk down, which means they can avoid some of the DPS from this allied army, but they can't avoid all of it. The Apollo getting some nice shots off on this Twin Blade, but the Twin Blade cleaning up the infantry on the ground. The bullfrogs clearing the skies for the Soviet army to advance, and all 3 of the cryocopters do escape. A nice save there by m8s Vindies, and goodbye Twin Blade as it gets blown up there, and Vindies is going to be pulling back, although something tells me that Javelin Trooper won't be able to escape. It might get close. Actually, I think the cryocopters would have to come over here to save that Javelin Trooper. Nope. Happy turns his bears around. He tells them to stop, and now that Javelin Trooper is indeed safe. Satellites dropping on this refinery. Could be going for the power plant instead, but he does not get the Prospector. He almost gets it, though. Does some pretty good damage. Usually you can kill off the power plant. He would have been able to kill off that Prospector if Vindies hadn't pulled it, but ooh, even better, Vindies hasn't put it back to work. He's not starting another one either, although he does have one going most likely over here, as I would imagine that's where that expansion is going to be taken by Vindies. The MiG was cleared up earlier in this game, but NaCl Happy, not actually sure what he was doing over here. He's not going to be throwing down his refinery on the water, nothing like that, so not sure exactly what he's going to be doing. It hurts my heart, Vindies. It hurts my heart. Hopefully, once he clicks on that, he'll realize that, you know, maybe he should check all of his refineries. But it's that sort of thing that you don't really think about. Scouts out with the Apollo. He's like, ooh, oh, there's a terror drone there. I don't want that. He is going to be able to deploy barely in range of that oil derrick. And now Happy is like, oh, you've got eyes on my terror drone. Maybe I'll move that guy back. As we do indeed have the garage, or the war factory getting thrown down. And the Tier 2 has been purchased for m8s Vindies. One Tesla Trooper gets frozen pretty much immediately. There's not a ton of infantry here for Vindies to really deal with the infantry of his opponent. He's really only got the one Guardian tank. He's putting a lot of trust in this attack. At the same time, that Apollo is taking a bit of damage. One cryocopter goes down, hands off that elite status to a Bullfrog, and Vindies has been completely routed in the middle of the map. I don't know what that attack was about. It seems to me to be a little bit of a fishy attack. He is indeed going to be going for his 4th refinery out on the water. He's feeling a little bit safe about taking that, but will he be able to defend at the front of his base? Terror Drone is going to be locking down this armor facility. Nothing is being constructed, as Vindies is going to have to hold on with what units he has. He's got a couple of Peacekeepers on the front line, but not a lot of reinforcements helping out with this army. m8s Vindies is going to be in a lot of trouble. He needs something to help him break the front. He's got a multi-gunner turret, but there's so many units here from our Soviet player. NaCl Happy may be going up 2-0 against m8s Vindies in this particular best of 5. Terror Drone does finally get cleaned up, but the front has been busted. His door is wide open. NaCl Happy is coming for blood. Even the cryo shot not going to be enough to stop it. 2 cryocopters showing up, but there's nothing here to really do the damage. Oh, the crushes could be incredible. No! The secondary ability from the Tesla Trooper locks down the MCB, and there the hammer tanks finish it off. No problemo. And there is the GG. Well played for Vindies. And NaCl Happy takes game number 2 in the Clan Wars. Woo! What a solid game from NaCl Happy. The Saltiest Clan in Red Alert 3 also showing they've got some definitely solid players in Red Alert 3. I'll put it that way, but let's get into game number 3 as quick as we can. Alright guys, welcome to Cabana Republic, spawning on the right side as the yellow allied player from Team m8s. He's down 0-2 in this series. It is m8s Vindies. And on the left side as the green allies representing NaCl Happy. Alright guys, Happy has played now every faction. He's bested Vindies with 2 of the factions, Empire and indeed Soviets. But can he best Vindies in an AVA mirror? Now Vindies has kind of self-admitted that AVA maybe not his best matchup. There's the kill for Vindies and the lockdown of a second dog by him. So he's going to be earning that scouting game win. Can he sneak around and kill the engineer? That would be a true victory for Vindies, and something that he may not end up getting here. Oh, if only he would have turned, he may have been able to pick off that engineer. Vindies, on the other hand, going for his own engineer and packing up some Javelin Troopers. It looks like it's going to be into a Riptide for Vindies. And what is Happy doing? I'm not 100% sure. There's the second refinery, so nothing too crazy just yet. He's going to be laser locking down a couple of the buildings. Engineer, another engineer for Vindies. Ooh, Vindies actually pulls back his engineer. He's worried about this dog, which has made it through. Happy committed a lot more to the early infantry than Vindies did, but Vindies went for this scout. Now, unfortunately for Happy, that Peacekeeper is not going to be able to clean up that dog, not on the other side of the MCV. A little bit too far away, has a bit of a building in the middle. But there's the naval yard from Vindies. He starts his Riptide. He is going to be going for 2 Riptides, I would guess, just based on the sheer number of infantry he's got there and the double engineer. But Happy has been able to open exactly how he would have wanted. Ooh, there's the tier 2. There's the naval yard. Could be assault destroyers on the way. Either way, Vindies is going to be a little bit suspicious. He is going to be seeing that very forward placement of the naval yard. He's going to be wondering exactly what that is for. And he won't have exactly a perfect read on it. But it is probably going to be for that assault destroyer to go for the harass and the kill of the harvesters on Vindies' side of the map. Now, Vindies, it looks like, is already moving out with his MCV. Could be going for the 3rd refinery on the water. Could be going for a turret push as well. Either way, this game is going to be getting very dangerous very quickly for both of these players. Not sure what the best course of action for Vindies is, because he is not going to be seeing this pretty much at any point until it's actually in his base killing his stuff. At the same time, Happy is going to have to deal with a lot of Javelin Troopers and a couple of engineers, since these engineers haven't been actually offloaded, although it's possible that the engineers are both in this Riptide, at which case Vindies will still have a lot of Javelin Troopers. And nope, it looks like the engineers are actually in this Riptide, so that's a thing. It's just a Peacekeeper inside of this guy. He's not really going to be doing too much. And suddenly this assault destroyer is like, ooh, yum yum, I will eat myself a couple of Riptides. Even brings along a hydrofoil. Vindies is just taking insult and injury from Happy, as Happy is like, no, you can't even attack me. You might want to finish off that Riptide. No reason to give that away. Another Riptide will be going down, and now Happy is free to engage more and more units along that naval path. But Vindies is now in the main base of Happy, and this is where things start to get a little bit dangerous for both players. Both players going to be getting Javelin Troopers inside of the main base of their opponent. Which one can deal with the pressure a little bit better? That dog trying to get inside of a Riptide, that would have been a much better choice. There's one of the refineries instantly shot down by the laser lock on those Javelin Troopers. Maybe some overkill, but it doesn't even matter, because that is the kill of one of the refineries, which is so important for each player. They're starting to equal things up. Now, Vindies has both of the oil derricks, and I believe he got the cash back on one of them. The other one was indeed grabbed by Happy, which means, of course, we're going to have a little bit of an economic edge as we go into this very, very weird no or one refinery situation for each player, as right now they're sitting on that one refinery economy, probably soon to be 0 refinery, as it already is for Vindies. Vindies dropping down the multi-gunner turret in the main base of his opponent. That's just a bit of a graphical bug, as we do see it's not actually going anywhere. The MCV for Happy packed up but not moving anywhere. Vindicator's going to be coming in for a bombing run. If they can grab one of these Riptides as the Javelin Troopers jump inside of it, that would be a great kill for Happy. But Happy is going to be going for the MCV. More and more bombing runs. As you can see, he's in a little bit of a dangerous position, and actually, this MCV should have pretty solid build radius. Might be able to actually hit the MCV if he places down a turret at the very southernmost point of that build radius. On the right side of the map, this Assault Destroyer is going to be cleaning up what was the main base of Vindies. Vindies dropping down that Peacekeeper just to kind of have some ground control on that oil derrick. Not that it's really going to stop Happy if Happy wants to take that oil derrick. Vindicator's coming in for Happy. Again, if he was able to grab one of these Riptides, drop the bombs on one of the Riptides just as the Javelin Troopers jumped inside of it, that would be a great, great kill for him. Looks like the Javelin Troopers may be laser locking down this oil derrick, which is a nice move for NaCl Happy. And his Vindicators are going on a bombing run to clean up the other one. He's going to need another couple of Vindicators to really clean that out. And this power plant is actually in range, or it should be in range of at least one or two Javelin Troopers here. Maybe only the heroic one will be able to reach it with that laser lock. No, could have gotten a couple of more guys on that if you really wanted to. And now, ooh, the Harvester does not actually escape. It is frozen down. I thought for a moment it might actually be able to get out of there. Here comes the Vindicator for NaCl Happy. Oh, he does turn around. He decides it's not worth the life of the Vindicator. And I mean, yeah, technically not in terms of just cost. In terms of cost, 1,200 credits versus 1,000 credits, it's not worth it. But that Vindicator has already killed some other stuff. I still can't agree with Happy turning around there, not wanting to sacrifice that Vindicator when he's got so few units. And now this is a situation where that extra range from the heroic unit is really going to be benefiting Vindies a nice amount. Happy has moved his MCV over to the right side of the map. Vindies has reestablished his base, and of course, with that extra bit of money that Vindies got from the oil derricks, he was able to just have that extra, bit of income. Happy loses another Vindicator. That is not good. Bad Micro says NaCl Happy. What are you doing, Happy? You're supposed to blame it on the map, blame it on your opponent, something like that. Don't blame your loss on yourself. Pretend that it's only everything else but yourself, as that is what most gamers do. At the same time, NaCl Happy not giving up just yet despite dropping the GG. He does clean up one refinery, but can he do anything other than that? I think the answer is no. He's going to be hard-pressed to actually make anything happen in this game. Vindies is still ahead by a fair margin. There's the real GG coming out from NaCl Happy. I think he was just hoping, like, that just 1 in a million chance. He's like, maybe this is the game that goes Hall of Fame because I end up winning in this really strange way. But it didn't. And Mates Vindies takes back this particular game. But let's head into the next match as quick as we can. All right, welcome to game number 4 on Battle Base Beta of this Clan Wars Best of 5. Spawning in the bottom left position as the yellow allies, the man who needs your cheers. He's down 1-2. It is Mates Vindies. And in the top right side as the Green Empire player. From Team NaCl, the Salties Clan in Red Alert 3, can he finish it out with a 3-1 score, or will we go to the ace match? It is Happy. And again, this is one of those situations where even though there's nothing on the line in terms of like, oh, first Fast 3 refinery for Happy, there's nothing on the lines in terms of cash money. This is Clan Wars. It's for fun. It's for the pride of saying that you beat the other clans. That's what this is about. And as soon as Vindies gets up there with a couple of units, he's going to be like, where are your Imperial Warriors? This is Battle Base Beta. Where are your Imperial Warriors? And he's going to know that something funky is up. Is he immediately going to be going to a Fast 3 refinery? Well, he might. I'm not inside of Vindies' head, so I don't know that for sure. But he's going to be thinking, oh, I just lost a lot of money on this dual racks opener, and my opponent went super eco, and I can't punish one of those refineries. So, I'm not sure if Vindies is going to be able to transition super well. We shall see if he's going to be able to punch through and do some damage. But, Happy, it's all about the defense. Now he's even double walling his refinery. I don't know if he realizes that Vindies can just run around and do damage there, but we'll see. Vindies is going for kind of the safe option, which is clearing out the oil derrick. He's pretty much guaranteed to get that damage done. He doesn't have to worry too much about Happy, like, committing hard to a defense. There goes the oil derrick. Happy continuing to wall off his base. He needs to buy time. He needs more units out to stop this infantry push. He really just needs like 3 or 4 Tengus, depending on how good the control is, because there are Javelin Troopers, which could stomp all over his Tengus if the control is not good. But with the added threat of the Imperial Warriors, there's no real way for Vindies to hold this easily. It's going to be difficult no matter which way you look at it. NaCl Happy, he's rocking that 3 refinery. He's even got potential for 2 dojos pumping out infantry, but instead he may just be going for some sort of a scout or a, you know, like refinery block with that dojo. I'm not exactly sure where he's going to be going with that dojo, because I guess he could block that refinery. That would probably be the most useful thing, and even then, it's not all that useful. He could be going for some sort of, like, fat... Oh, my word. Oh, is he going fast? No, that was Kimi no Uji. That was Kimi no Uji, guys. I'm not actually sure if Happy is crazy enough to go fast 3 refinery into fast tier 3 and Yuriko. Nice transform timing there from NaCl Happy, taking no damage there from that Vindicator bombing run. Vindies expanding to the right side of the map. He's got himself that 3 refinery economy. Dog coming up through the middle of the map for Vindies. He's already pretty confident he's got kind of the middle. He's got that bit of map control. Again, I'm not sure exactly what this dojo is doing. A little bit of a mystery there to me. Tengus, 5 of them on the front lines, will be enough to hold off any real infantry pressure. It's when Vindies starts mixing in other things that aren't infantry, be it cryocopters, more Vindicators, whatever it may be. And actually, Vindies could be going into his 4th refinery here and kind of locking down this southernmost pocket of the map as his. Imperial Warriors charging up the right side are going to be... Oh, that's weird. He's doing a little dance there, as you guys probably saw. That one Imperial Warrior not really able to do too much. Does get killed off by Javelin Troopers, which is, of course, embarrassing when you have to tell all of your Imperial Warrior buddies that you saw one of your friends get killed off by Javelin Troopers, and they're like, what? Javelin Troopers? We kill those guys, no problem. We just chop them up with our sword. And then he's like, yeah, no, this guy, he was just dancing next to a ledge. I don't know, man. I told him not to take those dance classes. But yeah, this is Battle Base Beta. For those of you watching on the live stream that may have seen Battle Base Delta earlier on in the day, this is just the regular version of the map. I wasn't able to convince these guys to play on any fun, unusual maps. Tengu's going to be engaging against just 2 Apollos. Vindies needs to be very careful about this engagement here. He is careful indeed. I believe he saved both of his Apollos as they're screaming back out across the map. A 3rd Apollo gets trashed pretty darn quickly, but the Javelin Troopers on the ground are going to be able to assist in the anti-air of this army. Now the Tengus do go for the transform with honorable discharge. They are going to be able to cut through these forces rather quickly. Any kills that Vindies gets, in a way, ends up hurting him because of that honorable discharge. There's the dojo deploy right on the front lines, and the Imperial Warrior numbers are actually just pretty high. Overall, I'm not actually sure where the MCV of Vindies is. There it is in the main base of his opponent. He's not going for any sort of expansion after that water ref. He's instead going to be going for, it looks like, potentially a proxy airfield. I think he's just leaving this one to be sacrificed, as he should not actually really count on returning to base there. He is going to be dropping down a boot camp there in the middle of NaCl Happy's main base. And can NaCl take this best of 5 win in Clan Wars over Team Mates? We shall see. There is a second airfield over there, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that. Oh, potentially that Harvester could have gotten some really nice kills there, as the units all clumped up in a pretty dangerous way. But Vindies was not able to make that happen, and now this refinery, the power plant as well, and potentially this refinery as well, are all pretty much forfeit to the power of the Empire. Vindies continue to establish more and more infrastructure inside of the main base of his opponent in kind of an insulting way. This double racks production, I mean, Allied infantry can be so powerful when well controlled anyways, and now Vindies is just proving it in the middle of his opponent. Harvester gets frozen down, drops all of his bombs with 5 Apollos out on the map. That's a lot of Tengus that are needed to take down those Apollos. Even with point defense drones, it's not going to be enough. As you can see, NaCl Happy losing yet another Tengu. And can Vindies actually make the comeback happen? He may be taking us to an ace match with some unorthodox AVE on Battle Base Beta. Looks like one of the players was low power for a moment there, but they're back online as Vindies is crushing forward, smashing through the defenses of NaCl Happy. He's going to be cleaning up this refinery potentially in just a few moments. The MCV forced to retreat as the multi-gunner turret is taking pot shots off, but here comes the Tsunami Tank. It's going in for the crushes. 2 Javelin Troopers and a Peacekeeper is what it claims. Not quite enough, but it's getting close to earning some of that value back, but it's not what NaCl Happy needs in this game. Mecha Bay getting chewed away. Imperial Warriors in the middle of the map on the move command. Nope, they do get told to attack there. Good control from NaCl's Happy. Prospector getting shot up. That Yaori mini sub is going to be earning its worth. Javelin Troopers helping to clear out the Mecha Bay, which was tier 2. That's a lot of investment lost. All of the power plants are within range of Vindies' forces, so he's going to be able to clean them up without too much trouble. Oh, the Peacekeeper inside of the multi-gunner IFV chewing through the potential attacking force. I say potential because that attacking force just got raffle stomped into the ground. Yeesh. By mates Vindies. Vindicator coming in here will be potentially bombing out some of these structures, but the Javelin Trooper is indeed going to be killing that power plant. Oil derrick gets cleaned up by Happy, which, I mean, Vindies cleaned up the oil derrick of Happy much, much earlier in this game. NaCl Happy drops the GG, and we are going to be going to an ace match of this best of 5. Vindies brings it back 2-2 to take us to game number 5. What a solid series from these two players. Nice variety from NaCl Happy, playing all of the factions, swinging back around to Empire. And let's see if we can get another match. All right, welcome to Temple Prime, spawning on the right side as the green allies from Team NaCl. It is Happy. And on the left side as the yellow playful allies, throwing out some taunts in the game there. It is from teammates Vindies. Two in a best of 5. That's right, it's match point. It's the ace map match. And what do we have there? We've got no refinery into airfield from NaCl's Happy. Vindies is going to see the fact that there's no infantry in his sights. He's going to be wondering, once his Peacekeepers get about a little over halfway, he's going to be like, what exactly are you doing? Oh, that's what you're doing. Actually, once he sees the Vindicator, he'll be like, oh, okay. No, I get it. I get exactly what you're doing. And then he has to figure out how to break it. And that is, of course, his challenge. He's not committing too hard into the Peacekeepers, which means if he ends up losing all of these guys, he won't have dropped so much money on the defense, but I imagine it's tier 2. No, maybe it's not tier 2 up for, well, we'll see. No, it's into dual refinery, so it's not going to be super fast tier 2 or anything like that. The airfield is indeed here. There's the barracks coming out from NaCl Happy. Vindies starting to pick away at this airfield. Happy can barely get out the units and the bombs to drop on this dog to try to clear his racks. Does he actually have any bombs? Oh, I think the answer is no. He's just going to have to... Oh. GG. Without the racks and with no bombs on his Vindicator, there's nothing he could do. Even the engineer isn't going to be enough to escape. And in a disappointing game number 5, Happy, he doesn't show us that awesome play that we had seen in the other matches. Instead, he just fell flat a little bit there. Vindies played the trump card. Those Peacekeepers, powerful enough to lock down Mates Happy, or NaCl Happy, and take the victory for Teammates. Our first best of 5 of the Clan Wars has been decided. Teammates leading in some stylish fashion. Vindies beat TNG, so Mates beat TNG there, and m8s has now defeated NaCl as well. m8s, so far the reigning champs of the Clan Wars for January 2015.